You mentioned real estate. How is it working with different real estate agents, and how was your process? Because I know on the inside, so I want you to share with them. Because I didn't tell you I was going to ask you that question, so I see that's why you're smiling.
Yeah, so I have a great agent that I work with. His name is Tremar Clay. He's been great, but he was my buying agent, and he did not list my property. So I found someone else who listed the property, who was that was definitely a mistake, and it delayed, my process. They were, unresponsive, and they weren't, but they weren't doing their job. They weren't checking on the house. They weren't sending me the leads that they were getting, and I kind of felt in the dark. So I had to end up firing that agent, and then going back with my buying agent. But
that made you lose money.
Yep, that made me lose money in the process, because time is money.
Time is money, but also you had to leave the property on.
Yep, the property was sitting for about 30 or 45 days.
Additional to what it you could have been sold.
It could have been sold.
Yep. And that's the thing that you have to understand. So if you're a developer, you have to realize that the type of people, you need to vet these people. And just because a person said they're a real estate agent doesn't mean you need to work with them.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, that was definitely tough, and that was a lesson learned, to, have more of a vetting process when, hiring an agent. Because I did ask questions, but I didn't ask enough, being, young in the field. So you kind of take people's word for it, but like now, after being in it for a couple of years, I realize what questions to ask. What are red flags? What in the contract that you don't, you never want to do like a dual agency, someone that's gonna sell the house and be the buying agent. You never want that, because you're not their number one priority. So that's something that I learned. I mean, I guess some people can do it, but that's something that I wouldn't recommend, and that I would try to avoid.
And that's what we need. Yeah. That's what I want. We want your recommendations, because you do this day in and day out.
Yes.
Like you said, you was researching, you was doing the studies, and you're getting the projects, you're working with the people, you're putting it on the lot, you're getting the contractors to rehab, and you're doing all that. So that's what we want. We want your recommendations.
Yeah.
So what do you recommend when it comes down to the contractors?
You want someone that's responsive, someone that's reasonable, someone that'll tell you the intricacies of what's going on with the project. Hey, we're going to do plumbing today. I'm like, okay, so what's going on with plumbing? Oh, we need X, Y, and Z. And then I have a pro services account with like Home Depot. So
service, elaborate on that.
So it's so when you go into Home Depot, there's a desk like in the back that says pro services desk, and this is where you can set up like your job name for whatever property you're working on. And the contractors can just go in and say, hey, I work for Rob. This is his project name. And Home Depot, basically, they'll call me and say, hey, your contractor's here. Do you approve? They'll send me everything he's looking to buy. I go down the list. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense to me. And I approve it.
So and that's the thing that people don't know. So that's a good thing, because you're doing development in another state, but you're actually here in Georgia. So that helps you virtually to internal control set up to have where you can get your jobs done. Exactly. So that's something that you recommend to our viewers that want to. So and those guys that, put that on your checklist, that you want to have a pro service account.
Yeah, pro services account.
You want a pro service account, and you want to have that. And even if you're in the same state with them, you don't have to go to the store. You can have that peace of mind. You can be multitasking if you're at your job, or if you're at, sitting on your patio and you want to do things with your family, your kids. You may want to be going to their baseball game, instead of you saying, okay, hey, this Saturday is for my son's for his game, instead of I have to go shopping. And, it's the convenience. Yep. And that helps you with business. So that's a good thing. Thank you for giving that tip and sharing that, because I didn't know that. Yeah. So thank you for doing that.